Kingdom Hearts
That.
2, my favorite
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts game and
Oh,
one of
I
my
love
favorite
this
games
game.
of all time. I'll
Yes,
just
it
say
is
right
the best
now,
Kingdom Hearts game.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is what is I think it's a perfect sequel. Perfect sequel.
All
I
right.
have to agree with you. It does have a few tiny flaws here and there, but I have to agree with you.
I mean, if you're talking, a sequel is something that should improve upon the original. It shouldn't be something that's
yes.
a remake of the original.
And
Kingdom
it does
Hearts
so.
2 is that.
It certainly does so.
And I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
One thing I love about Kingdom Hearts is the sense of progression you get. Like in the first game, when you start out, you are shit with a Keyblade. You have a pathetic 3-hit combo that's super slow and is just generally sad, and you should laugh, and you'll be teased at school for being so horribly weak, and Riku beats you up all the time. And by the end, you become really cool, and you have like all these cool combos and shit. But Kingdom Hearts 2, the combos in there are so fluid and dynamic and
Just
badass.
Oh my god, you're just pulling off the. It's like you drank like 3 bottles of a freaking wicked elixir or something. But the combos you can do.
You literally start flying through the air and cause explosions as you pass through. That is how awesome you are.
I'm pretty sure that at some point you're able to pull off a 6-hit combo on the ground, bring up into the air with the freaking twirly move, then do some side slashes, then go back to the X thing to just freaking slash people in midair, then do the freaking the freaking super slash move,
and then end with the best finisher of all time, the one you get with Tron, where you create the giant orbs of death.
Yeah, I love that one.
I'm pretty sure you can't do those in midair, but on the ground.
Yes, you can actually. You can use those in midair, and it is glorious.
Oh, you can? Oh my god, you can. You can.
Not only that, Sora, you could definitely tell Sora he became more of a hero on that one.
I love how he became more mature. Like he like in the first game, he was like this chipper, like he was a kid. He was a cheesy, like like idealistic, wide-eyed, innocent kid. In the second game, he was a hero. He was a warrior, and he was more mature. I mean, he wasn't quite an adult,
but he was mature.
Felt like he knew what the fuck he was doing, and like he wasn't an idiot. Like I love the part. Like one of my favorite scenes in that game is after you finish the Pirates of the Caribbean level, and Jack asks him for the Keyblade. He's not like, no, I'm not going to give you the Keyblade. He's like, sure, take it, because he knows that it'll just teleport back to him, and he's just like, sorry, what are you going to do about it? Like in the first game, he would have been like, no, it's my Keyblade, and he would have like tried to defend himself against it while Jack tried to take it from him. In the second game, it's just like, sure, knowing that you can't keep it. Oh well, troll face.
And then it all went to hell in 3DS.
I played it again. Oh, by the way, don't play the 3DS game unless you've played The World Ends With You. It is so much better.
Oh, The World Ends With You. You know, I originally bought that game a few months before 3D came out. Just so I would know about these new characters that I'd never seen before, and it instantly became one of my favorite DS games of all time. I started playing 3DS long before I even knew what The World Ends With You was, and I was like, first off, I was like, Sora, you seem whiny and less mature than you did before, and that really bothered me. And he still does. That still kind of bothers me. How in the beginning he seemed kind of bratty, and I was like, "What the fuck happened to you?"
I know, like what the fuck.
But it doesn't bother me as much now. But the main thing that bothered me was like, who the fuck are these characters? These aren't like Final Fantasy characters. Who the hell are you? What are these Dream Eater things? Why aren't you using like why don't you just use the Heartless or whatever? Or the Nobodies? What the fuck's wrong with them? Who are these assholes? And then I played The World Ends With You, and first off, it's a fucking awesome game. You should play it.
Definitely.
And then I was like, oh my god, it's Neku, Joshua, and I fucking can't remember the girl's name. Why can't I remember her name? Shiki. Shiki.
I pronounce it. I'm pretty sure I think they pronounce it. I forget how they pronounce it in game.
It's probably knowing Japanese.
I just say Shiki.
What I know of Japanese, it's probably Shiki. Shiki,
yeah.
Joshua, Beat and Rhyme, Neku. God, now I know that I remember them. And then the Dream Eaters, like, oh, it's the Kingdom Hearts version of the noise. Oh, I get it, and now I'm totally okay with it, and it's awesome.
Alright, so I was supposed to ask, Dream Eaters come from World Ends With You?
No.
They don't
No,
exactly. The explanation is that the sleeping worlds that you couldn't have access to, even though they're identical to the worlds you've played a million times before in all the other Kingdom Hearts games, that they're basically cut off from everything, including the Heartless and the Nobodies. So they get their own enemy, which is the Dream Eaters. And there are good ones who eat your nightmares, leaving you with pleasant dreams, and the bad ones, which eat your good dreams, leaving you only with nightmares. And you can tell the difference between them because the bad ones are all dark-colored and generally nasty-looking, and they like to bite your face off. And the good ones help you out, and you can do moves together with them. Sora's generally being rather silly ones where you work together, and Riku being where you do fusion with them and become a badass.
Yeah. Yes, I love. So basically, the Dream Eaters just with the way they were designed, I guess you could say that they were kind of, sort of based off the noise from The World Ends With You.
Sort of. They're not nearly as cool as the noise, who are like half animal, half tattoo, and super badass. But
you see where I'm coming from, right, Dan? You
Yeah.
see that, you can kind of see what I mean. How just with some of their designs, how they can be noted as similar.
Sure.
yeah, exactly. And even if they didn't look similar, I still got a noise vibe from them. And it basically, the whole thing ended up reminding me of The World Ends With You, which I really loved the game, and I felt connected to them, which is kind of what Kingdom Hearts is about. You can't really play it without having already experienced like the Disney movies and the Final Fantasy games or whatever. You had to have played those because it's basically a giant nostalgia trip that combines all of these things together into one epic story.
I agree with Dan.
Although I never played a Final Fantasy game until I played Kingdom Hearts. I still felt nostalgic when I played Kingdom Hearts just by watching Disney movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I've not played a single Final Fantasy game with any of the characters featured in Kingdom Hearts.
I haven't either, but I guess it's just because I'm on the internet. I knew enough about them that I could still feel nostalgic.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never played Final Fantasy VII. It still felt awesome meeting Cloud and Leon and Squall. His name is Squall. I've met Final Fantasy fans who get pissed off at the fact that they called him Leon, and at anyone who calls him Leon ever.
He will, even if I do end up playing it, he will always be Leon.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, that's true. Also, to be perfectly honest, Leon's a much cooler name than Squall.
Yeah, Squall
sounds kind of lame. Leon is badass.
Oh, yeah. Alright, what were we talking about in Kingdom Hearts? Oh, yeah, we were talking about how Sora was, like, actually a hero in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes. How did we get to 3D, to Dream Drop Distance?
Because I said, oh, well, in 3DS, he kind of... His character kind of went to shit. And
Raise your hand if you have ADHD or ADD or whatever you want to call it.
I honestly think 3D was more focused on Riku than
Riku. That game made me like Riku more than Sora.
Kingdom Hearts 2 made me really like Sora. Dream Drop Distance, I guess, is for Riku.
Yeah, I really think Dream Drop Distance was more of Riku's game than Sora's game.
And plus, Riku was the one who passed. Riku was the one who passed the Keyblade exam.
Right, but did you notice? Right, did you notice a lot of the Riku segments took up a bit more time than Sora's?
Oh yeah, I mean like the final half of the game, like the final bosses of the game, they're all Riku.
So basically, Sora's only there because he logically has to be based on the premise of the game.
Basically,
right. He does have to attempt the thing at least. He has to at least try to become the Keyblade Master.
Although
He got
Although,
decently
I'll be
close.
honest, yeah, I feel like Yen Sid was kind of bullshitting them when he's saying, you can't become Keyblade Masters because you're self-taught. You have to learn from masters.
What the fuck? You
So,
didn't learn
go to these
anything.
sleeping worlds and not actually meet any masters and do everything on your own. Fuck you, Yen Sid.
I think
Give them their fucking badges or whatever. I mean, the whole thing seems like a lot of trouble to go through what's clearly just a title. Who cares
Well-
whether they're officially masters? They're both kick-ass
Well, I
and
mean-
really good at using the Keyblade.
I mean, I guess it was more about them maturing more through the journey. And then again, they technically didn't really go through most of the trial because of, the whole young Xehanort sort of leading them on the entire way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it felt like I didn't feel like the game had a weak excuse. I felt like Yen Sid had a weak excuse. I felt like he was just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can see why they would have to make him suggest that, but, really though, I know Jensen himself only had good intentions because he would at least get a bit stronger through doing this, but he didn't account for the fact that, A, Xehanort would have access to the dream worlds, and B, he'd be able to fuck with Riku.
I feel like it would have been better if it was like, hey, there are these sleeping
Sure, as much
worlds,
as I
and I'm
keep it.
sensing disturbances in them. Something weird's going on. Go check them out. That would have been fine. The whole thing about this, you have to prove that you're truly masters. It's be like,
Yeah, it's like,
that's
dude,
bullshit. They're both clearly mastered. They've literally saved the world multiple times. They're good
No,
at
not
it.
the world, the universe. They've literally saved the universe.
That's, yes, the universe. All the worlds.
Yeah.
Twice.
Oh yeah, Dan. I remember. I was talking. I remember we were talking about how